everyone. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to present and talk to you about my Christmas time river cruise chat. And we're going to be talking about festive Christmas season vacations. We're going to talk about AmaWaterways. So I am Lisa Berlin, owner of Great Escapes Travel, and I create custom, memorable luxury travel experiences for my clients. And I'm a river cruise specialist with AmaWaterways. I'm certified river cruise specialist designation with them. And so today we're going to talk about vacation in the Christmas season. We're going to introduce you to getting acquainted with AmaWaterways and sailing through Europe. We're going to talk to you about why Christmas time vacations are so memorable and why they're a wonderful family vacation for even multi-generations. So grandma, mom, and dad, and the grandkids. And we're going to outline easy and flexible cancellation changes and options there, as well as fantastic. This is the exciting part. We're going to wait till the end, but there are some fantastic exclusive savings for Christmas time markets that we were going to introduce you to as well. So AmaWaterways stands out in the river cruise industry and in the entire tourism industry as a leader. And I love partnering with AmaWaterways for so many reasons. And we're going to kind of outline a lot of those reasons will just kind of unfold today. And as well as there's many, every day there's many locally guided excursions and trips and cycling tours and experiences that are always included. And we have optional pre and post. We'll talk about pre and post city stays that add so much to your river cruise experience. We'll have, we'll talk about the family-friendly options, where there's something for everybody on AmaWaterways River Cruise. And so today I am so happy to be sharing the screen with my AmaWaterways guru, Brandon. Thank you so much for coming on with me today, and we can talk and share about AmaWaterways and Christmas time river cruise chat. So Brandon, let's talk about Christmas river cruises and AmaWaterways.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me here with you today. Yeah, I will tell you, I am so excited to talk about Christmas markets because my favorite experience I ever had over in Europe was during the Christmas market season. And it's because I felt like I was walking through a living fairy tale. Everything is so beautifully lit. The decorations are so exciting. And in Europe, the holiday season is completely different. They celebrate on a level that I would love to see in our country, but it's really nice that you have this magical, beautiful place with a lot of different destinations to explore and see. And some of the things that stand out for me now, as a traveler, I will admit I'm a foodie, and most travelers I know, dining and eating the different things from the places you're going through, that's part of the experience. Well, during the holiday season in Europe, the type of cuisine you're going to experience at these Christmas markets is unique to the Christmas season. And as you were saying, this is something that is absolutely amazing for families. And I know that you sell a lot of river cruises, and typically it's a couple or a bunch of friends who maybe go together as a group. Well, with the Christmas markets, we see a lot of multi-generational families coming on board because they all want to go over and celebrate the Christmas season together. Here we're actually looking at one of the owners of AmaWaterways, Gary Murphy, his wife and daughters, and this has got to be on board the, nope, this has got to be in their home actually. I'm looking at pictures of Gary as a child, a baby, and his father, Jimmy Murphy. And the reason I thought this was the MAGNA for a brief moment, all of these pictures are in Jimmy's wine bar on the MAGNA because Jimmy was one of the founders of AmaWaterways. But yeah, the Christmas markets are absolutely amazing, especially if you want to take a family over. And river cruising is good for children who are well-traveled and like culture and art, but the Christmas markets bring, again, something unique and special to the river cruising experience. So first, we have two main rivers we cruise on for the Christmas markets. We do the Danube and the Rhine. And for part of the season, sometimes we're able to get across the Main River. But we're going to talk about the Danube first. I love the Danube. The last time I actually saw you, Lisa, was on the Danube. We had a great trip. And talking of starting from Budapest, Budapest has a beautiful Christmas market. As a matter of fact, they have multiple Christmas markets spread throughout town. Now, what is so amazing about Budapest having Christmas markets, it is not part of their history. This is not something that they did in the past, but there's a lot of tourism that comes to Europe specifically for Christmas markets. So they've taken it to a whole other level. They have the most beautiful and amazing Christmas markets you're going to see in any place you go in Europe. It is absolutely breathtaking. And obviously, even when you're not in Budapest during the holidays, it is one of those cities that is so beautifully illuminated in the evenings that just having this extra element makes it all that more special. And it's one of my favorite places that I go to in Europe. I love Budapest. I know you've been there a couple of times, right?
Yes, yes, I've been to Budapest and it's just delightful. You know, personally, I have not been to and had the experience to go on a Christmas time cruise, but I'm telling you, it is high on my list and I cannot wait to go. And everybody I talk to and listen to that says they go on Christmas cruises regularly on AMA, they say take an extra suitcase because you go, you do your Christmas shopping and there's so many fun things. But also there's cruises that start in around Thanksgiving, the end of November, and they go through Christmas and even into New Year's, and then that's it for the Christmas season. But all during this time, the ships are decorated so beautifully. Santa Claus is on board, and I understand, Brandon, that if you put your boot out, you'll probably get a treat if you put your boot outside of the cabin. Is that correct?
Well, it's slippers now. We used to have our guests put their shoes outside the door, but somebody's shoe went missing one night. The strangest thing ever. So now we have our guests put their slippers outside the door and they get a nice little treat inside their slipper to take in the morning.
So they do just really fun things to make it fun for everybody. And I understand that the ships, I've seen the pictures just decorated. I mean, they don't mess around. They've got all kinds of decorations over the entire ship. Very festive.
I'm going to talk about that in depth in just a moment, because actually we have the most decorated ships in all of Europe.
Well, that doesn't surprise me one little bit. And I want to go to this market right here. I want to go here. Where is this? Oh, it's Vienna.
This is Vienna, yes. Vienna is another place where they have multiple Christmas markets. And with the Christmas markets, you're going to find a lot of amazing baked goods that are unique to the Christmas season. Glühwein, hot spiced mulled wine, which you can smell it as you're getting around the corner from the booth, because it's just so amazing. And all the different spices they put into it are just spectacular. And there are a lot of handcrafted items all over the place. But Vienna, a beautiful Christmas market. You have your main Christmas market in the town center, but then in front of the Schönbrunn Palace, where Marie Antoinette grew up, within the gated area, they also have their own little private Christmas market, which anybody can walk in off the streets. You don't have to pay to get in there, but it is part of the Schönbrunn Palace. But Vienna is, again, another place. I love all of these big cities and small, charming places along the Danube. Fortunately, my wife and I were able to spend some extra time in Vienna and find some little hidden gems that made it extra special for us.
Well, this is so charming and just so festive. And I understand, are you going to tell us about the mugs that they collect? Okay, because I want to hear about that.
So every Christmas market, so each city has an annual collectible mug that your glühwein is served in. So you can either, give the mug back and they'll give you a couple of euros, or you can bring it home as a collectible and you can use it to get refills and it saves you a couple of euros. My background with AmaWaterways, I've been with the company for 8 years. I actually started on the phones in reservations. The most popular thing I saw people go back and do again and again and again were Christmas markets. It didn't matter if they'd been on the same river in the same places before. They wanted to go back. Part of it was the magic and the beauty of the holiday season. But another strong driving factor was to go get more of those wonderful collectible mugs to bring home. And at first I thought it was a little off the wall till I went and I experienced it. And then I went to my closest friend's house, his mother's house, and she brought about 20 mugs down from different times she had gone over to the Christmas markets, because they all have the year and they all have a unique design each year. And it's part of the fun. And again, it's part of the reason you want to bring an extra suitcase, or at least plan on going home with an extra suitcase.
Yes. Oh no, it just looks magical. Oh, Salzburg, look how beautiful and festive this looks.
So Salzburg, beautiful city, home to where they filmed The Sound of Music, Mozart's birthplace. Again, even when you're not there during the Christmas markets, it has this particular charm, like a small village charm. But during the Christmas markets, you're at a higher elevation, you get the snow, you get the lights, they put the booths up in the town center, and you just have this beautiful and absolutely unique experience. And it's about an hour and a half away from the ship. Now, to get to Salzburg, you leave from a town called Linz. And I always, whenever I talk about Salzburg, I always kind of encourage people, take the full day trip to Salzburg. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have options. You can either do a half day tour of Linz and then spend the rest of the day in Salzburg, or you can go to Salzburg all day. Go to Salzburg all day, because you get an extended walking tour and you get so much free time to explore. And yes, the Christmas markets are beautiful and magical, but there are other places in Salzburg you will want to see while you have that free time on your hands.
You know, I've never been there in the wintertime. This looks so magical, and just something that, you know, we can really look forward beyond to in planning Christmas vacations and fun events to look forward to in the future. I've been in this square in the summertime, and it's even festive and gorgeous in the summertime, but it just completely transforms in the wintertime here in this picture. But no, I mean, AmaWaterways makes it so easy. All the excursions would be included, where you can choose different things and so forth. But Salzburg, Brandon's tip to go to Salzburg all day, definitely an excellent one to follow on your Christmas cruise.
Oh, and you know, I do have one more tip for Salzburg.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor and buy a large bottle of Mozart chocolate liqueur. It is divine, and you cannot find it anywhere else.
Okay, I will have to write that one down.
So Passau is another beautiful, charming town along the way. It's a city of 3 rivers. Now, obviously, they have their Christmas markets. It's going to be up near, let's see, do I have it in my next slide? Nope, that's Regensburg. Moving back, it's going to be towards the cathedral, and it's really nice, because in Passau, when we're not in the holiday season, they have a really nice farmers market out there daily. So they replace the farmers market with Christmas market booths. But when you're in Passau, I encourage people, take our Active Walkers tour. It's a unique tour because we hike up the hill, which is stairs. You go up a bunch of stairs and you get up to the castle. Now, when you get up there, you have the most extraordinary view of all of Passau. And Passau has 3 rivers that flow into it. 2 of them, as they come together, you can see they're different colors, and you can see them merging together from the castle up top, and it is a breathtaking view. And then when you come back down, you have so much free time to go into town, see the Christmas markets, and explore Passau itself a little bit.
You know, Brandon, I just love this picture. I'm going to mention something a little different, but looking at this picture, it's just so serene. And for those of you who have not sailed or done experienced a river cruise previously, this calm, beautiful water is just really what you experience on a river cruise. You just glide along and it's so peaceful. So I really think that this picture embodies that peaceful, serene feeling of seeing all these beautiful castles and charming villages as you go by. But I just love this picture.
I agree. That's fantastic. And it is peaceful. And people always ask me, can you get seasickness on a river cruise vessel? The answer is no. I mean, you look, the water definitely moves because it's a river, but the boat is a flat bottom boat. It never rocks. So yeah, no seasickness on a river cruise.
Yep. Regensburg.
We love Regensburg. We were in Regensburg just last year around this time, well, pretty close to this time at least. So what I love about this part of Germany, you're in Bavaria. They have their own culture. You have what we're looking at is the city center. It's the square, but you have a lot of those half timber homes around Regensburg. So you really get that Bavarian German feel while you're there. And again, pardon me, more beautiful Christmas markets to explore. And I keep talking about the Glühwein because the Glühwein is really magical. And I'm not going to lie, it is cold. There is snow. It is cold enough for there to be snow. I tell people to layer. You know, if you layer up, you're fine. But then there's Glühwein to help you stay warm on the inside as you're going through the markets. And also, if you don't want to wear your gloves, it's nice to wrap your hands around it to warm your hands up while you're drinking the Glühwein. But Regensburg is a beautiful and charming city. I love the bridge that you come over as you come into town, and you have the statue of the man doing the lookout up top. Yeah. It's this really amazing feeling as you're just crossing going into the town of Regensburg.
It is a storybook little village for sure. Now, I understand that this particular market is one that that typically if you live in the village, you would pay a small fee to go to. However, AmaWaterways includes that fee if you want to go into this market, this particular Christmas market. You're not going to see quite as many people in this market because you do pay, but AmaWaterways covers that little expense for you. So it's all included. You just feel like it's very comfortable and very easy. But I want to go to that. It looks like you need some snow boots for this one, Brandon.
You know, so I live in Arizona. I am not a cold weather person. I've lived in Los Angeles and Phoenix most of my life. I don't do well in cold weather. I was told to get wool socks, and growing up, wool socks were so thick I couldn't get my feet into my shoes. But these days, wool socks are something totally different. So wool socks work. Definitely some boots were nice. And again, layers. Now, my thing that I like, since a parka doesn't make sense for where I live, I have an electric shirt that I bought on Amazon. It has 3 different heat settings and a rechargeable battery, and it does wonders for when you're exploring out in the cold weather.
I'll be darned, who would think? Well, that sounds like the perfect little answer to your wardrobe.
Yeah, right, yes, exactly.
Very clever.
Now, I'm glad you brought this up earlier, but I did really want to save it because this is such a special thing that AmaWaterways does. You can see our ships above and beyond any of the other ships on the river during the holidays, especially because they are so beautifully decorated, and nobody else does this. I didn't know. I've been on so many cruises with AmaWaterways. The things we do, I just figured, well, this is what everyone else does. And during the holiday season, the interior is beautifully decorated. The exterior, beautifully decorated. I was on the MAGNA in January of this year, and they left all the decorations up so that we could see what we had done on board. And as you know, Lisa, the MAGNA itself is such a unique and special river cruise vessel. Double the width, only 40 additional guests on board, 4 different dining venues, a Zen wellness studio. You have multiple lounges. It is an absolutely spectacular ship, and it operates on the Danube during the Christmas market season.
Yes, it does.
It's the creme of ships, right? The river cruise ships, there's nothing like it.
This is a fantastic, you know, the AmaMagna, I was just putting one together for a client last week that is going to go in 2021 on the AmaMagna. They said they wanted to be on board during Christmas, and the AmaMagna is available right now to sail for Christmas from Budapest to Prague. And it's basically, look at it, it's a floating Christmas tree. It's gorgeous. So anyway, if you wanted to do an actual Christmas cruise, you can on the AmaMagna for 2021.
Absolutely. And when I say it is the creme de la creme of river cruise vessels, there is truly nothing else like it. It is a very unique vessels. And something I'll point out to your clients who like to ocean cruise and have not river cruise before, one of the things we had in mind when we were building this was to make something inviting for ocean cruisers, larger staterooms that average 355 square feet and more amenities like you're used to when you're on an ocean cruise. And I will say, moving into 21, obviously, we all are looking towards a much better year. And I think the AmaMagna is a great way to get it started or finished.
Absolutely. You know, everything you said about AmaMagna is true, and then some, because it is a stunning, stunning vessel. State of the art, top to bottom. Every thought was put in detail into your comfort and the whole experience. But you know, whether you're on the AmaMagna at Christmas time, or on the Danube, or the AmaViola or Leia or another wonderful ship, it looks like the decorations are outstanding. Look at all that garland around all the decks out there. Wow.
Yeah, I wish I had put my picture on. I was in the fitness center one morning when it was still really dark out and all the lights were on, and I stepped out to get a picture of the river was still and beautiful, the garland and the lights. It was really magical, but you get a great picture here.
Absolutely. Here we go. The pre and the post river cruises add so much. So the idea for a pre and post river cruise is that you can choose some cities and then have a 7-night river cruise, and then you can choose before and or after. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about the extensions on the Danube.
So if you're starting in Budapest, we offer 2 nights pre in Budapest. And when you disembark, you can either go to Prague for 3 nights, or you can go to Munich for 2 nights. So these are all add-on options on top of your cruise. Now, something very special again about Prague, like Budapest, Christmas markets were not normal for their history. You know, they very, very different history. With the fall of communism, they painted everything pastel and got rid of the drab grays, and they started doing things very differently in Prague. Now, so much tourism comes through Prague for these Christmas market cruises, and this has been going on since the mid to late 90s, that Prague has decided to jump in, and actually Prague has had the highest rated and most beautiful Christmas markets in all of Europe, because obviously Prague is a beautiful, beautiful place. Their town center is just breathtaking as is. And then you add all of the elements of the Christmas markets. And I always have to bring this up, their donut cones. Did you try those while you were there?
You know, I did. The donut cone, it's a pastry, and they wrap it around a stick and make a cone out of a pastry, and then they fill it with ice cream, and you can have different flavors. I think the one I had some cinnamon and sugar, and but you can add all kinds of things into it, but very unique for their area. And Prague City Center, encompasses the word magical. It is a fairy tale, and so beautiful there with the history and the buildings and the architecture. Just absolutely, you can't miss it. You have to go to Prague. And I think at Christmas time, look at this whole square is transformed with the big tree, and the markets, and all outlining the square are these fabulous restaurants serving local cuisine, and interesting, and also very important and unique to AmaWaterways is that your cruise director, who is your personal concierge, becoming your friend. Within a matter of time, usually minutes, you're best friends with your cruise director, but they go with you. You will meet them at the hotels before you cruise. If you do the pre-cruise, they'll be with you the entire sailing. And then they're going to go on to, if the post-cruise, whether it's, you know, whichever you're going to Munich or Prague, or if whichever just direction you're going, but they're there with you, and they are your literally your travel best friend and concierge while you're there. Answer and take care of everything you could possibly dream of. These AmaWaterways cruise directors are extraordinarily special in any capacity. So it's really unique to have that consistent experience the entire time of your vacation.
Absolutely. And that's unique. Nobody else does that. They usually put tour guides on the land and the cruise manager on the cruise. And I agree, they become your friend because you spend so much time with them.
That's right.
Now, you started talking about some of these at the beginning, and I thought it was great that you're ahead of the curve, but I love this. Christine Karst is the executive vice president of the company. She's married to Rudy Schreiner, who is the president of the company. And she is from Germany, and she has some really great insider tips that I wanted to leave in here. And I love how she talks about carrying cash in local currency. You can use a credit card at most of the places you go to, but when you're in the Christmas markets, there are some of the booths, they are cash only. So I have a banking background. I used to be a business banker once upon another lifetime ago. Go to your local bank and get as much cash as you think you need for your trip before you leave, to avoid getting hit with fees when you get over there and decide that you need more cash. Really good thing to do. And she's right. The things to buy, most people who do the Christmas markets like to bring gifts and things, trinkets, things for their friends and family, and things also for their own Christmas tree maybe. She's got a great list of wonderful, wonderful things there. And again, to accommodate for the multi-generation families that we're getting here, we have connecting staterooms. We also have staterooms that can accommodate triples, which I personally don't recommend for 3 adults, but if you have 2 adults and a child or a teenager, it absolutely works.
It does. It works beautifully. And so that gives it, so if there's some, you know, little ones, you know, maybe people ask sometime, well, what's the age appropriate you know, options for going with children on river cruises? And from my understanding, what is it, about 6, age 6 and up? And for
4.
Christmas markets, is that about right?
4. We will take children of the age of 4 and up.
Okay, well, so you can have this, you know, for Christmas time, I think 4 and up is appropriate, where you're most of the rest of the year, you're really not going to see kids or even have that. But during the Christmas markets, it's just more family friendly. And again, something for everybody with Santa Claus, angels, Christmas caroling. And in the picture that we're looking at right now, Kristen Karst is on, let's see, she's on the far right side. Is that right, of the photo there?
Yeah,
and yeah, so anyway, that is Kristen Karst. And so with her Christmas market tips, shopping tips.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this is the cruise I did, Christmas markets on the Rhine. And you know what, the Rhine, so the Danube has some big cities and a few small, charming villages along the way. The Rhine has a couple of big cities and a lot of small, charming villages along the way. In Amsterdam, they don't have Christmas markets anymore. In 2015, they took them down for security reasons. They wanted their cameras around town to be able to see things better. But I actually like what they do here better than some of the other places, because they have the festival of lights all along the canals, and everywhere you go, they just have the most beautiful lights all over town. It is absolutely breathtaking. And Amsterdam is one of those spectacular places. I will say, for most people, including myself, one of my very, very favorite places in all of Europe, because of just what a magical place it is.
Oh, Amsterdam's always fun and always dynamic, so interesting. You know, with the Rijksmuseum there and the famous Dutch masters, if you want to see that, the architecture with the merchant houses that line the canals. It's very enchanting and always diverse. And I understand that at Christmas time with the light festivals, it is is also just beautiful. But I think at the Christmas markets, once you kind of sail the other, you know, you get on your river cruise, then you're in Germany. After the Netherlands, you go to Germany.
You are correct. And one of your first stops along the way from Amsterdam is Cologne, Germany. And you get your fill of Christmas markets here because there are 3. You have your main one, which is what we're looking at right outside the cathedral. Breathtaking. I will tell you that I personally bought a lot of hand-blown glass ornaments as gifts for my family to bring back home. And the reason I selected those, one, the guy did an amazing job. Each one was unique within itself. And for me, that meant a lot. I love finding things that are unique and handmade that I know for a fact nobody else has one exactly like it. And you will find it here. Funny enough, I did a presentation with somebody a few weeks ago, and they brought up a picture of the same guy that I purchased them from. And I was like, once you see him and what he has, you're like, yes, that is what I want. Now, the main Christmas market is up around the cathedral. As you go down around the other side on the right, there is a little tiny one, and they have straw all over the ground there. And it's a tiny little market, but again, it's unique within itself. And then you have the old town of Cologne, where the homes look a lot like the homes you'd see in Amsterdam, you know, very, very different feel. And they have a different type of Christmas market along with a big, giant ice skating rink in the middle of it. And you can pick up about 3 different collectible mugs between the 3 markets here in Cologne.
And each of the Christmas markets is what you're saying, Brandon, has their own unique flavor and different types of objects to art and things that are crafted. Is that what you're saying then?
The unique, so we look at this market, we can see the roof of all of the booths are red. So yeah. Each of the booths follow a format. You go down to the next one and you have totally different types of booths and totally different layout, again, with all unique things within the market itself. And then you go to the old market and you don't have this modern feel. It almost feels like something you would see maybe 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Just a little bit different. Again, different style booths, different feel as soon as you walk into it. And it's magical. All of it is magical. I couldn't say I liked one more than the other here because they all had something special.
How could you choose? I mean, just the setting alone with behind the cathedral and right there on the Rhine River. I mean, you're just a short walk away from the Rhine River and the boat docking. So when you come in, you're not like bussed in or anything. You're a block or 2 away. It's a little stroll, and so that makes it just so lovely and easy to navigate, and everybody loves easy.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, and this next stop along the way is a lot easier because Heidelberg is a smaller town. You have a smaller Christmas market, but then again, the market itself is smaller, but look, you have this big, beautiful decorative candle, I don't even know what to call it, in the middle of the market, which you can see from very far away as you're walking into the market. So and Heidelberg is just another one of those beautiful and charming German towns.
Oh, look at that. How enchanting Heidelberg is during Christmas season. Wow.
Now, we also have Gary's Insider's Tips, and I was on the first cruise to ever do this. So I don't think anyone else is doing this. I haven't confirmed, but I've talked to a couple of other people, and I think we're the only river cruise line that does an extended trip from Heidelberg. And we do this at night. When you're done with an early dinner, we go into a small village called Gengenbach. Now, Gengenbach, again, it doesn't have the biggest market, but it's more than enough. It is absolutely more than enough. And you're off the beaten path here. Now, this little playhouse here, this house on the right, the big one, they do a performance for AmaWaterways. They even mention us and thank our guests. And you have to speak German because all you're going to understand is AmaWaterways a couple of times throughout it, and everything else is in German. But the different windows light up throughout the story with different images in the window. And most of the performance is by the children and teenagers from the village.
Oh, just beautiful. Everything they've got, the Christmas pole. So it's a world's largest Advent calendar
Right
for
there.
Christmas. Yeah, that's amazing. Just fantastic. And so people know Gary Murphy, Gary's Insider Tips, is one of the owners of AmaWaterways. And so he absolutely loves doing the Christmas markets, and his family adores it as well. So no, but this Gengenbach in the Black Forest, old medieval, it looks absolutely wonderful. Absolutely, and they do a special performance just for AmaWaterways guests.
So this is
What a
such a
special
charming
treat.
place, and it's lit up so beautifully that when I did this with my cousin and a couple of friends, we got a really great picture with all of this beautiful imagery in the background, and I turned it into a coffee mug for me and all of my cousin and some of my friends. And it's that charming and beautiful. It is really special. And since you are in the Black Forest, you absolutely are going to have Black Forest cake. And you can go into town and you can have this, but some of the beauty of river cruising is you get immersed into the cultures of these places while you're on board with us. So we are going to treat you to some Black Forest cake, which originates from where you are at, inside the Black Forest on the Rhine River.
That's right. And the culinary treats for Christmas time are right on board, as well as walking around the markets. And the chefs are outstanding on the river cruises for AmaWaterways.
Yes, they are. Now, I think Strasbourg is a big destination, and one of the top reasons people choose to cruise the Rhine River. UNESCO World Heritage Site, stunningly beautiful. What's really funny about this part of France is it was Germany for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it would go back and forth between Germany and France. And when you cruise down the Rhine River through this Alsace region, you will see on either side of the river where there is a destroyed bridge, because the Germans would build bridges over into France. And when the French would get sick of the Germans, they would burn their bridges down. Yes. And then as you're cruising through, the cruise manager will point it out and tell you the history behind it. But when you walk into Strasbourg, even when you're not there during the holidays, you feel like you're part of a Christmas market because of the way that it's laid out. And you do have these wonderful half timber homes. They are everywhere. I will say it is probably the most picturesque city that you are going to visit during your cruise time on the Rhine River.
Oh, Brandon, without a doubt, Strasbourg is, I think it might be one of my most favorite places in Europe. I adore this town. Just the charm. It's a culinary delight. The food and they have their own particular things that they put together with their spices and the way they do their breads. And it is just a very relaxed area of France, and very, very charming. So I think this is one of my most favorite places. And I really need to go during Christmas, because you really do feel like, even I've been there in the summertime several times, but you feel like, just like you said, you're in a Christmas market in the summertime. But during Christmas, look at all the magical tree in the square and all this. So absolutely stunning. And again, it's just right off of the Rhine River. So you're right there. We're very close.
And we stay in Strasbourg all day long. So we do your morning city tour. You get an hour-and-a-half guided tour, hour-and-a-half to explore on your own. You go back to the ship for lunch, and then we have motor coaches running to the city center back and forth all day, because it's maybe a 10-15 minute walk to get to the city center, but for convenience, we have the motor coaches running back and forth, and also to avoid anyone getting confused on where the ship might be. And where you would disembark is Basel, Switzerland. Now, Basel is situated right on the Rhine River at the border of Germany and France. You can stand in Basel and look at Germany and France from right there in Switzerland and be in one place. So Basel, their Christmas market is probably the biggest I saw out of all of them, just because it's spread throughout the entire city, and they had a giant amusement park, all holiday themed, rides inside of their amusement park as well. Basel is the second largest city in Switzerland, and it's really neat. You kind of got a little bit of a melting pot of cultures here in this town as well. But again, and my favorite Christmas market mug that I brought back was shaped like a Santa Claus boot, and I got it right here in Basel, Switzerland.
Well, it's just a classy, very, you know, like you say, very diverse city, very clean and gorgeous. And the positioning with the three countries, Switzerland, France, and Germany, right there, is a melting pot of cultures.
Now we do have some more tips from Gary. So it's earlier, Lisa and I were having a side conversation. She said, Gary doesn't have a lot to say. And I was thinking, wow, she doesn't know the same Gary as me. He actually has great insider tips. His family is Irish, so he has Irish citizenship. He grew up going to Europe his entire life. Those Glühwein mugs, they have value. You get a discount for refilling them, and they make wonderful souvenirs. You will come home and make your own Glühwein, and you will be so happy that you brought these mugs to serve yourself this Glühwein in. And something that we were just talking about, pack thick-soled shoes, scarf, gloves, and a hat. I will tell you, a scarf is a lifesaver. I like fashion. I have about 10 different scarves, and I will take all of them with me so that each day I look like I feel like I should look when I go into town. Scarves are a lifesaver, and a hat. I mean, I don't know about you, but my ears get cold faster than anything else. So to cover them up,
you know, you can always pick those up over there and find some scarves and hats of every type you can imagine. But yes, and even AmaWaterways is, when you arrive in your stateroom to check in, the ladies will have the most beautiful woven shawl scarf put on there, you know, right in your room for you as a gift. And the men will get a lovely AmaWaterways cap. But I'm telling you, I have several AmaWaterways scarves, and they're gorgeous. And so if you forget yours, you always have a gorgeous one to wear. You can wear it to dinner or out, but they are beautiful scarves. And so there's always one provided for you, ladies.
Absolutely. Now with the Rhine River, we do have 2 nights free in Amsterdam. It's an add-on. And we can do 2 nights in Lucerne, 2 nights in Zurich, or you can go to Lake Como for 2 nights. Now, Lisa, I know you love Lake Como. This is like one of your favorite places on the planet, right?
Yes, Strasbourg and Lake Como. I have a long list, but yes, Lake Como is very special. And I'm actually going there I have a group going this summer, and we're going to do the Rhine castles and Swiss Alps with 3 nights. The summer version, we get to go 3 nights, and wintertime it's for 2 nights. But yeah, so I will be there again, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But for Christmas time cruises, there's the options to do Switzerland. And, you know, and I don't know which one I would choose, honestly, Brandon. It'll be tough.
I mean, for me, it would be tough also because I love Lucerne and Zurich. They're wonderful, but I've yet to go to Lake Como. I might do that just to go there. And I can only imagine such a charming little place would be beautifully decorated during the holidays.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a retreat and a secluded enclave in this. It's the best way to describe it is the Swiss Alps meet a microclimate with date palms and bougainvillea, and so it's a very unique climate zone there. But I don't know, Lucerne, Zurich, Amsterdam. Yeah.
You pick the one that's on your bucket list and you go, or you talk to Lisa and she helps you pick which one.
That's right. We decide. Yeah.
Now, you brought this up at the beginning of the webinar. We have some absolutely unbelievable savings in place for Christmas markets next year and 2022. So if you can't make it next year because you've already planned a trip because you just have to get out as soon as you can, we've got you covered. We have triple savings in place, which means you can save up to $1,000 per person plus a complimentary upgrade on your stateroom And then we also give you 50 per person shipboard credit. And the shipboard credit can be used for your the bar tab on board. So we have complimentary soda, beer, and wine with lunch and dinner, a cocktail hour before dinner every evening. But after dinner, if you want drinks, you pay for it. Well, shipboard credit helps with that. It helps with the gift shop. If you want to get a massage in the spa, the shipboard credit can be used for that as well.
You know, Brandon, I love this offer. It's a very exclusive offer, $1,000 per person and an upgrade for your stateroom. So it's $2,000 per couple. And you book a twin balcony stateroom or higher, and you get an automatic upgrade. Those upgrades are in the $600 to $900 and up range as a value and per person. And so when you talk about this holiday triple savings, you might want to rename a holiday quadruple savings or something. It's a fantastic value and a wonderful way where you can take the kids or the grandparents want to go with everybody. Take advantage of this offer. It is absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, $50 to spend in the gift shop. Thank you. Yes, take it. Any day. And the gift shops are fantastic. I've dropped some change there. Yes. Myself.
Well, during the holiday season, it's going to be filled with Christmas items.
Yeah, you know, Brandon, just as a side note, we sailed on the MAGNA a year ago in October, and in the gift shop there were Christmas items, and I brought home some Christmas things from the Christmas markets, and so I get to put those out and enjoy those too.
That's my favorite part of my Christmas decorations now.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic offer. And I think, Brenda, does this offer go until through November, or do you know when we need to be visiting with our clients about the offer? Probably sooner rather than later for 2021.
For 2021, as soon as possible, not because it's going to expire. It'll expire December 31st. We are seeing a record number of bookings for next year right now. And a lot of these bookings are for the second half of the year into the Christmas market season. So just for people to be ahead of the curve, get the selling they want, the date they want, the stateroom they want. It's always better to move quicker because river cruise vessels are small. We can only hold 156 guests on our vessels.
That's right. You know, and that goes to the point where I am seeing unprecedented, extraordinary demand for booking for 2021 and 2022. So you're right. It's not that, you know, the offer is going to be around a few, you know, through the end of the year, but it's getting the date you want and the cruise and the itinerary. Now, one last thing, Brennan, I understand that 2021, the Ama Christina is going to be sailing during Christmas in France on the Rhone River. Is that correct?
I have heard discussion. I don't have anything in place, but I'm pretty sure that's happening. So they don't do Christmas markets on the Rhone.
No, they don't do the Christmas markets, but it's festive and you get to experience cultures in France and things like that, more or less. It's not so much a Christmas market.
But, and also, if you think about it, I mean, the Glühwein, it's wine. What better place to drink Glühwein than France with all of those delicious French wines? And from what I understand, it is not just festive. It is spectacularly beautiful. And the streets and everything are so incredibly illuminated that it would make sense for us to do that, but we are talking about it and it's very likely. And the Ama Christina is our most highly awarded vessel in our fleet.
That's right. That's right. Well, all of the vessels are absolutely stunning. And so anyway, Brandon, it looks like, are we already at the end of our presentation and our chat today?
We are.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me about Christmas market cruises and AmaWaterways. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody watching today. If there's any questions and answers, feel free to reach out. For me, I can follow up with you also in the next day or so with any questions and answers or particulars and things that we would like to go. If you have any questions, we can just talk about your ideas, and I can give you some more things to think about too. Always.
Excellent. And thank you so much for organizing this. You take care and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Brandon. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.